Steve Visentin. There is a free lunch. There is a free lunch. Steve Visentin.
Thank you. There is a free lunch. Just ask. I'll come to your place of business. I'll bring food and share with you some powerful, life-changing, life-saving techniques of stress management that improve the bottom line. I'd like to schedule it today if you're ready. And I'm not a psychologist, but I found out about stress management and how effective the Lunch and Learn program can be over 50 years ago. I came home, little guy, all red. I was angry. I went, "Ah!" Is that good stress management? That is excellent stress management, venting. I said to my mom, I hate Eddie, and I'm never going to play with him again. And she said, honey, what's wrong? And she drew me out. And then she made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I remember she cut it diagonally. Really made an impression on me. I sat down, had a little food, then stood up and started toward the front door. And my mom asked, Stevie, where are you going? I said, I'm going to play with Eddie. Just that easy. If you get rid of stress quickly, it's not going to hurt you. If you let it out, that would be everything. But you can't stand in front of a customer or your boss and go, I didn't make the sale. It's not professional. So I'll give you some other techniques, and you could choose what's right for you, because I have lots of techniques, dynamic techniques that really work. You could quit your job. Would that be effective in stress management? You could quit your job. I'm suggesting quit it emotionally. You could quit it anytime you like. When the kids are away and the spouse is not around, just take your briefcase and just slam it down. Go, I quit, and I'm never going back there again. Sound familiar? Those people, their attitudes. I don't need this. But when the sun comes up, take a shower, put your makeup on, shave, get to work. I've done these techniques. I haven't missed a day's work in over 30 years. I haven't even been late in over 30 years. How's your track record? You could quit anytime you like, emotionally. And that make all the difference for you. So these are little hinges, some power tools that you could use, because little hinges swing big doors. It's a $350 billion a year problem. And maybe you're not that expressive. Maybe you want to just sit down when you're by yourself with some paper and pen and write out all your problems, all your issues, and just write it out and write it out and write it out. And this is not a letter that you're going to send anyone. It's a forgiveness letter. And take those troubles to the backyard and burn them up. And as you feel the flames and see the smoke and smell the smell, you say a little prayer and finally let all that garbage go forever. Take the ashes and bury them. Very clean, wonderful ways to deal with stress. We could schedule a luncheon. We usually do these in the cafeteria. It fits right into the work day. And I'll bring some burritos and make you look good in front of your coworkers. The boss likes it because he's showing real concern for what's going on in every workplace. There's a reason they don't call it party time. They call it work because it's stressful, whether you recognize the stress or not. And some of you might have questions or concerns even about this program. Does anyone have questions so far? Yes. Questions?
Yes, great presentation, keep going.
Oh, okay. Not a question. John.
Well, I noticed on your handout that you say you're a DC doctor of chiropractic, and you say you specialize in painless, state-of-the-art methods, which tells me you're a backcracker, and now you're coming in here talking to me like you're a head shrinker. So I think you need to pick a lane and establish your credibility. You don't come across, I'm not sure, how do you know anything? You know, I mean, I know as much about stress as you do, so, there's that, and then why would I want to have people listen to you? I mean, why are we going to give you an hour of our time, and you know, and you're just going to tell us, throw your stuff on the floor and have a tantrum? I need to get where this is going, Steve.
It sounds like you may have had a problem perhaps with another speaker who may have misrepresented their credentials or their skills. And I'll be the first to admit that I'm not good with interpersonal conflict. I'm terrible. I'm not trained as a psychologist. You're right, I am a doctor of chiropractic. Absolutely. And I refer regularly to psychologists and psychiatrists because that's not my forte. You're absolutely right. And I would never venture into that arena because you're right, I am totally unqualified for that. So your questions about my qualifications are good. And you also wanted to know about the time and place for this and how it would fit in to the workplace environment. Mostly you're going to eat lunch anyway. The program takes 20 minutes. We did one for Safeway the other day, and they loved it. It was just a nice break for them. And they got a nice burrito, hung out, shared some great information. Management liked it because they could show that they're really concerned about their workers, and they're doing something to improve the workplace environment. And you know what? I've got something for you. Almost forgot. There's some thank you notes in here from local businesses. Here's one from the United States Department of Agriculture. Department of Health and Human Services enjoyed the program. Cambridge College, Regis University. Here's one from HealthTrans. And some of you may have heard of this little company. Merrill Lynch thought the program was fantastic. So I invite you to take a look at that information and see what you think and see if that doesn't allay your fears. Does anyone else have questions or concerns?
Yeah, Steve, what do you get out of this?
What do I get out of it? I get to meet people who have JOBs, possibly with insurance, and they may need my skills and they may need what I do for a living, which is take pressure off the nervous system. Yes, ma'am. We have a variety of burritos, vegetarian, chicken, beef. But for other groups, we've offered salad or sandwiches. Someone else? Yes.
I was living in Miami many, many years ago, and the hotel I was working at, the owner was bankrupt, and my wife and I were getting divorced, and I could not move my neck, and I went to see a chiropractor. And the chiropractor said I was expressing all my stress on my back, and he said I should go out and swim and do some exercises over and above what he was doing, and it truly did make a difference in relieving stress. That I went to see a chiropractor.
Thank you for that story. And that's very common, physical stress. It's
Are you a chiropractor or a speaker? What do you do day to day?
I'm a doctor of chiropractic. That's how I make my living. And today, I'm a public speaker. Although after certain questions, I might think about my speaking career. Yes?
So Dr. V, you said it yourself, this is a workplace. And it's an absolute truth that stress and pressure creates
Stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. You don't just get heart disease. You don't just get cancer. We create these things. When the spouse goes home and he or she is picking at their food and someone says, honey, what's wrong? And he says nothing, or she says nothing. And this goes on 10, 20, 30 years. That's how we get sick. And it's important to recognize stress in the workplace. And I'll take the other questions after the meeting. And oftentimes, don't do what I did. Oftentimes it goes unrecognized. I thought I had a stress-free environment. I was totally deluded. Don't do what I did. I hired this beautiful secretary. She was working the front desk, doing a great job, Heidi. And my back office tech guy, the guy doing the x-rays, the exams, she had an issue with him, and I was unaware of it. You're unaware of a lot of the stress that goes on in the workplace. I went to lunch, and she attacked my worker with a packing tape dispenser, put him in the hospital, cut him up. She quit. And by the way, I sent him to a psychologist after he visited the emergency room. Terrible. 2 out of 3 workers down. Whoa! Can be devastating to the workplace. Cost a lot of money. $350 billion. An unhappy worker is 50% more costly. I could improve the bottom line. I could make a real difference in your place of business. I'll share some dynamic material. We'll break bread together. We'll share some ideas. It could make a world of difference. You have headaches, jaw pain, sleepless nights. Anyone in the last 30 days, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, people coming in late, leaving early, sloppy work sites, incessant gossip. There is a free lunch. Just ask. You could leave that place ready to dance. It could make all the difference in the world. You could look at your watch and think, wow, where did that day go? That was wonderful. There is a free lunch. Let's set one up today.